Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a new segment which I'm calling Book Talk. So what is Book Talk? Well, Book Talk is basically as it says, we talk about books. And today's theme I'm going to talk about are crime thriller books. So I'm going to be comparing two different types of crime thriller books by two different authors, obviously. And I'm just going to talk through about what made them different, what I liked, what I didn't really like. And so I thought I'd start off with this series here. This is written by an Irish author who has emigrated out to Australia, Dervla McTernan. I really like this series. I really like these books. As far as crime thriller goes, I found these really easy to read. I liked the way that the author incorporated days to separate things, so you could easily understand what was going on. And so that was done like this. And so basically this series here follows Detective Cormac Riley, who is a cold case detective who's been moved from the Garda. And he's a cold case detective who has been moved to Galway. And big Ed Sheeran fan here. Every time I read the word Galway, I sing it. So maybe I should make that into a drinking game. So basically he's a cold case detective who's been moved to Galway. And so in the first book in the series, The Ruin, he has a 20-year-old case that surfaces. So when he was a young deputy, he went out to a murder, which he thought was a suicide at the time. No one ever arrested anyone for the killing of this woman. And then he put the two kids in foster care. And 20 years later, the son is dead from a suspected suicide. But his sister Maud didn't think it was a suicide. She thought it was murder. And Detective Cormac ended up investigating it, and they found the killer. This book here is fantastic, full of twists and turns. I am someone who really loves to read the first few chapters and then I just can't wait and I go to the end just to see who did it. And I love the fact that it wasn't clear. Even as I was reading the end, I was like, what? I don't actually know who did it. So I have to continue reading. And that for me was really awesome because as a person that likes to spoil my own endings, I found this really, really, really good because it didn't, no matter what. So so this basically follows this young guy's murder, how he got murdered. But in saying all of that, it still follows other detectives and it follows their lives, but it doesn't make it confusing, which is what I really, really loved. Then we have The Scholar, which is the second book in the series. So this book here, I just finished reading it. I really liked it too. It was a bit different in the sense that Detective Cormac's partner, Dr. Emma Sweeney, was the person who found the body. So she called him in, and there's a lot of tension going on down at the station. Cormac is not really getting along with his bosses. There's a lot of rivalry between the detectives. There's also a lot of problems with detectives undermining other detectives, and that is all interwoven within this story, which is what I found fantastic because it wasn't just one storyline. It explained so much about Emma's background, why there's rumors circulating around within the police, the Garda, because they're called Garda, why there was rumors circulating within that Garda, and it was just great. That we obviously then found out who did the murder, and really, really, really love this book. Again, many storylines intertwined within the one main storyline, but it wasn't confusing. It wasn't like I needed to know whose point of view it was because it was really straightforward and easy to understand. And so that is why I really like this series. There's a third book in the series which has just come out, which I still need to get my hands on. But I highly recommend this crime thriller series for anyone who's a crime thriller fan. Okay, I'm going to compare it to this book. So I read this book a little over a month ago, and I found this book extremely confusing. I'm a really big like TV fan of anything to do with like crime, drama. I watch Blue Bloods, I watch Bones, I watch NCIS, CSI. I watch them all. Like, I really, really do. Love them. I thought that I was going to get an NCIS kind of book here. This book here is also based off of the Jack Ryan drama that's on Amazon TV. So I thought I was getting something similar when I read this book. That's not what I got. So, this book was really confusing. Really, really, really confusing. It followed the protagonist in the series, but it also followed many antagonists. And when I say many, it followed so many that it got confusing to the point where I didn't even understand who was who. So this is a Tom Clancy Jack Ryan novel. And so what happened was, the reason why I got really, really confused was the first chapter was talking about, present. And then the second chapter jumped 2 months ahead. No warning. No, like, it didn't tell you. And I was sitting there and I was like, what? Am I missing something? Like, how can you just jump 2 months? Like, without even, like, expressing that you are now 2 months in advance. So that for me was a big thing that made me really upset because I couldn't follow this book at all. In saying all that, there was so many antagonists in this story. So many antagonists. And it got confusing because you were like, you're talking about the antagonists that are looking for the chip. Then you're talking about the antagonists that are targeting people from the Navy Defense Force. Then you're talking about antagonists that are just assassins. And it just it lost direction for me. I didn't find it descriptive enough in the sense that I didn't find it was descriptive on machinery, which is great, but it wasn't descriptive of what's happening. I lost track and yeah. I'm really sorry if I've offended Jack Ryan fans, but this book was really, 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 really confusing for me. And I thought I'd have pretty good knowledge given, like I said, I watch NCIS quite regularly. All of them, like NCIS New Orleans, NCIS Normal, NCIS, not Las Vegas, what's the other one? NCIS Los Angeles. So yeah, I thought I had pretty good knowledge of Navy inner workings and stuff. In saying that, this is not an attack on the author or anything like that. I just found it difficult to read this book. And so I still have another book in this series, which I'm going to read, which is written by a different author, which I'm really excited to read. And I will let you know how that goes, how they vary and differ between the two different authors, and whether they change lots of characters within the same novel. So for those of you that didn't know, Tom Clancy was the original author of Jack Ryan novels. Tom Clancy passed away, but his novels are multinational selling bestseller lists. They're just really, really, really great novels. So since he died, other authors have taken on the role of writing new adventures with Jack Ryan. And so if you actually open up to the first page, here, that is a working list of other novels written by him and the novel, I can't talk. I'm really hot in this house today. Other novels written by him, as well as other novels written by other authors. So it's pretty fantastic. Yeah, so as far as comparing these two novels, they're both the same genre. They're both thriller fiction. They're both thriller fiction, but I found this, even though there was many antagonists in this book, and many protagonists, to be honest with you, because it didn't just follow the life of his sister, it also followed the life of his partner, the guy that died, his partner and his sister. So we're following many different characters, but it made sense. It all came together in a nice, neat bow at the end of it. And that is what I found fantastic. That is what I loved. That is what you want. You want something to come together in a nice, neat bow. Didn't come together in a nice, neat bow. At all. Enough said. But basically, my opinion is that when writing crime thriller novels, It's fine to have many storylines, but they have to make sense. They have to intertwine with each other, and you have to be able to differentiate days, times, weeks, months. Because if you don't, it makes it really hard to then follow. That's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching my crime thriller, and I hope to see you next time for my next video.